I'm gonna.
Holy crap.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Netflix Explorers podcast, the podcast that dives deep into Netflix so that you don't have to. From the 1890 studios, my name is Dale.
I'm the trailer man, and my name's Adam.
My name's Patrick, and this is week 2 of me thinking of something to say.
Hey everybody, Steve here, and I'm just happy to be here.
Today we're going over Byzantium, The Overnight, and Cartel Land. Please stick around.
And in that order.
Exactly.
Okay.
What's going on, Adam?
Not much, dude.
Good to see you, dude.
Dude, Friday night podcast.
Friday cast.
Is there anything better in life?
I deem no.
We could be playing Can Jam right now.
Ooh.
Right after this.
That's Patrick. What's going on, Patrick?
I did. I'm pumped to play Can Jam after this now. So.
Yes. And Papa Steve is on the mic. What's going on, Dad?
I don't know what Can Jam is, but...
Can Jam is a wonderful game invented by hillbillies involving frisbees, probably trash cans at some point. You got to throw the frisbee into the trash can.
Can you drink whiskey when you're doing
That's
it?
the only way. In fact, one of your hands needs to be...
major rule.
It's part of the rule? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Okay, good.
Do we get like jerseys and stuff?
Yeah, there's teams.
Sort of, but I mean, probably not this.
You just have to
not
write on your
tonight,
clothes.
Yeah.
I'll get
Okay.
you a jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we did watch the 2017 championships, right?
Dude,
Yeah, on YouTube.
Young Guns.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So good.
Yeah.
Guys, first one up is a 2012 film, Byzantium. I'm not going to lie, right off the bat, didn't watch this one.
I think you missed out.
Did I miss out? Residents of a coastal town learn, with deathly consequences, the secret shared by the two mysterious women who have sought shelter at a local resort. Let's play the trailer.
If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to.
That was my bad.
That was overnight, wasn't it?
I was on the wrong tab.
This is a professional podcast. So they're at a beach.
My mother did 3 things for me. 1.
Come then.
She spared my life the day that I was born. Don't. I won't. 2. She paid for my upkeep on her knees and on her back.
Kiss me
Why?
in celebration of my wickedness.
And 3. She gave me the story I can never tell.
Interview with a vampire.
What would you do?
There is a code that we survived by Eleanor. Keep it.
Eleanor's written a story. In her story, she says that she lives with vampires.
My mother.
Somebody got their
lives in
hand
human
bit.
blood.
Ooh, somebody got their
Has
neck
done for
bit.
2 centuries.
She is an aberration.
We are a brotherhood. There are no women amongst us.
You're not permitted to survive. Whore.
Do we steal time?
We buy it. With blood.
We've been
2
here
women.
Two centuries. 1 hunger. There is no bond. Stronger than blood.
Only those prepared to die will find eternal life.
Byzantium Empire.
Byzantium. So Byzantium, guys, I didn't watch it. What did I miss? Patrick, what did I miss? What good things, what bad things did I miss out of this thing?
It's very dialogue driven.
Okay.
I think there's a lot.
So
of
it's Tarantino-y. Okay, cool. I like
No.
it. Oh, okay. So it's
No.
not like that.
It's not great dialogue.
Oh, I see.
That's
So they're just yappy.
Well, I mean, they're English, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
yeah.
That's a
There's a
dead
lot
giveaway
of
right
that.
there.
But
Did you like this one?
I really liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
6.5 IMDb. That's not a bad score for something like this. Is that where it needs to be?
Yeah, it's probably right on par where it should be. It's categorized as a drama, fantasy, horror, but I wouldn't put a horror on it. And I mean, the drama's there, the fantasy's there.
I saw a little vampire-ish stuff, but still no horror for you.
Yeah, well, there's never really a horror aspect to it. I mean,
Okay.
there's horrible things that happen,
Ooh.
but it doesn't.
I don't think horrible means horror, but,
Yeah,
but either way.
Yeah, but I mean, runtime little long at 118 minutes, but
Ooh.
It's got a budget of 8 million euros, so I mean, it's got the backing of the European Bank. So
Nice.
This is technically a foreign film, even though it's not our typical foreign film where we need subs.
There's no subs in this one.
I know why Patrick liked it. It was premiered in the Irish Film Institute.
Oh, well, there you go. Dead giveaway.
Back to his homeland.
Sure.
Okay. Now it's all coming clear.
Leprechauns and vampires.
Okay.
That's all that
staple
Patrick
of
does.
Ireland.
Just another Friday afternoon.
Yep.
Papa Steve, you watched Byzantium.
I did.
What'd you think of this one?
Yawn.
Okay.
6.5 IMDb? No way.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It was 118,000 minutes.
So it dragged out for
It
you.
was a little bit out of my...
Didn't seem like 118 minutes.
No.
And it doesn't have any redeeming factors when it's only an 8 million euro film. Like it's on the cheaper end, kind of a film.
well, I mean, it's 9.5 million USD. So if you're calling that cheap,
no, hey, look at me.
I mean, they weren't drinking early. Time, so
Well, that's true. That's true. But Papa Steve, no, I mean,
The first line that I wrote down was, I get it. Let's get moving.
okay,
That's the first thing that I wrote down.
dragged for you.
Well, and then as I was thinking about it, okay, it's not a thriller. Okay, it's vampire-y. Okay, I'm not giving anything away on that. So,
Correct.
but it wasn't like scary. It wasn't drama-y. It wasn't sexy. I mean, there wasn't tension. I wasn't grossed out. Like, what am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be doing here?
Right.
And then it ended.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I kind of felt this a little bit the same way. I think I'm in between you guys. I kind of liked parts of it, didn't like parts of it. I wrote down, it's like, we tried to, it's like, hey, you know what was a good movie? Twilight. You know what else was a good movie? Underworld, or what's that movie with Kate
Blade?
Beckinsale?
Yeah, Underworld.
Or Blade, or like, yeah.
Sure.
It's like they try to skeet the line between those two movies.
Okay.
And when you're trying to be both of those, you kind of don't get anything.
You don't get either. Yeah.
Yeah,
I see
exactly.
what you're
So that's
saying.
kind of how I felt about it.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
No redeeming. I mean, Patrick, you love this one.
I really did like it.
Put up a
yes.
fight for this one. I mean, I didn't watch this. Why do I need to watch this?
Well, I think this is like a coming of age story for the main character in here. Like, she's struggling her entire life with keeping this secret that she has and wanting to tell the truth because of the way she was raised. And then as you find out why some of the characters did what they did, you're like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. But here are the consequences almost immediately of what happens.
Okay.
And so when the story starts flushing itself out, you're really...
Why don't you go into a little bit more detail about how...
Flushing was
Fleshing. Did you say flushing or fleshing? Either way, I think it makes sense.
You should have flushed it out.
No, I mean, I just want to know. We did see in the trailer, like, we kind of know what her, like, tale is. I mean, okay, through the trailer, we can see the mother's a vampire, right?
Correct.
And I've never watched this movie, so I'm just going off trailers. So I'm not blowing anything.
Okay.
I'm mantle free right now. And then she tells her daughter, "Hey, listen, I'm a vampire."
No, not exactly like
No.
that.
Okay.
One of the reasons why the mother does what she does is kind of like a big reveal in the movie, so I wouldn't want to.
It's hard,
Okay.
it's hard
All
to
right.
skate around this
Okay,
one.
well, let's get around that one. Okay. So, but you highly suggest it. Adam, you're kind of meh about it. You're on both sides.
When I picked it, I thought, like,
Yeah,
okay.
what was your inspiration for picking it? You're the docket master.
Well, thank you. That's high praise. I'm more of a docket, like, engineer. I don't know about a master, but
Okay.
so...
A couple more years, once you get your journeyman license, you'll be a full-on...
that night school is really going to come into play here pretty quick. But it's like, I thought it was cool. Like, it takes place over like a couple hundred years, so that's a cool movie. Kind of, like
Right.
vampires, or they're the one that they get bit, they live forever.
Live forever,
so,
sure.
So that's kind of a cool aspect to a movie, and you can do a lot with that. And I saw, like, if you look in the trailer, you'll see like guys wearing like colonial clothes and then modern times. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, you're one story with all this kind of going on, and everyone's living through all this together. So I thought that'd be interesting.
Okay.
I heard it was pretty good. It was like a gory movie, but I didn't think it was that gory.
Well, I was just going to say that it was kind of like a vampire movie, like made by like Disney.
Oh, okay.
We kind of want to do a vampire movie because that's like the in thing right now, but we got to make it PG.
Okay.
So
It danced around the gorier.
This movie was rated.
It was rated R.
If you want a PG Disney vampire movie, that's Twilight for you.
there you go.
That,
Okay. Well, I'm
It's
just trying to-
Twilight with a couple people bleeding.
I mean, Adam, you picked this one for the docket. Does it got any redeeming factors? I mean, sell this movie to me or tell me to dodge this movie. What am I going to do?
I think.
I went to Colorado this weekend. I apologize. Couldn't get the films in.
Well, no, you probably made the right choice.
Okay.
I thought it was.
I mean, sell it to me or dissuade me.
In my mind, I played it up to better than what it was.
Okay.
So I was a little disappointed. So it's hard for me to say like, oh yeah, it's really good, because to be honest, I was a little disappointed.
Okay.
So,
Papa Steve, I didn't watch it. Do I watch it or do I not watch it?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Don't bother.
Don't pull anything out of the fire. No redeemable things for you.
I mean, the scenery was cool. The actresses were pretty.
agreed.
Now you're grasping.
Yeah, I'm sort of grasping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, I'm going to flip it right to you on rewatchability. Is it there for you? I mean,
No.
Okay, nothing there.
No.
Patrick, rewatchability. You really like this one? What do you think? Worth a rewatch?
Yeah, this is like a around Halloween type movie.
Okay.
I mean, it's
True.
It sort of falls along the lines of not chick flick, but you could probably get away with watching this with.
I did see a
Elizabeth
lot of
Banner,
female
yeah.
leads in the trailer.
I think they did it pretty well.
There's some
Okay.
love
That's
in
for
this.
sure.
There's some
That's for
love
sure.
interest in
Okay,
that.
so you got a little rewatchability. Adam, what about you? You
Which
gonna watch
was
this?
weird.
Yeah. That's all I can say about that.
Okay, moving quickly along.
Moving along.
Rewatchability, Adam, is it there for you? Do you got to be in a time and place, or just one and done?
I think Patrick's right. I think like Halloween time with your old lady could be acceptable. That's probably my only rewatch. That's a good rewatchability pillar, I'd say. So I think that's number 3.
How many pillars are we up to?
Yeah, 328.
328. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, 329 now.
Yeah, well, that's the third trinity.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good pillar of rewatchability for it. But other than that, probably not. I'd probably
Okay.
say skip it.
Okay. I mean, I can't chime in, but let's go liquor store aisle. Patrick, what do you got, man? Can you compare this one to anything?
I put a blood orange martini, and it's just instead of using like limeade or whatever, you just use like blood orange juice.
Blood orange juice. Papa Steve, you got a drink review for this one?
Mm-hmm.
What do you got?
I would ask if I went into a bar, my local bar and grill.
Sure.
I'd ask for a glass of tepid water, and then I'd get one of those little packets of ketchup,
Yeah.
that you get with with your French fries, and I would squeeze it into there and mix it up. It's not a Bloody Mary. It's not even. It's just. It has sort of a taste of it. But
Watered down catsup.
yeah, watered down ketchup, catsup, and not even ketchup, just catsup.
At that point, it's just catsup.
Exactly.
Only thing that's going to sip out of that's a cat.
I might just suck on the package.
That's what it is. It's like you open the ketchup packet, you squeeze it all up, but then you're a freak, so you just put the rest of it in your mouth just to get the rest of it out of there.
Right? You're
That's
wild.
it.
You're a wild child.
Ugh.
Adam, what about you? Bring us on liquor store aisle,
Oh man, that's pretty accurate though.
Can't touch that.
Can't touch that.
Can't touch that catsup.
I wrote down like warm Jägermeister, just like a cup. Just have a cup of like Jaeger that's been in my car. I left it in the car on accident,
A Dixie cup.
and it's like you just fill a cup full of warm Jaeger, and it's thick, and it's like it's going down. You're like, oh.
Yeah, at the least.
All right, well, I'll make this work.
Well, hey, man. Good. All right, cool. That's it for Byzantium 2012. Anything else to add, guys, before we move quickly along to the Overnight 2015 film? Let me set up the trailer for you. Alex, Emily, and their son RJ are new to Los Angeles. A chance meeting at the park introduces them to the mysterious Kurt, Charlotte, and Max. A family playdate, in quotes, becomes increasingly interesting as the night goes on. 6.1 IMDb. Let's watch the trailer. Or for you, not on the live feed, listen to the trailer.
If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to do anything you don't want to.
Okay.
So there's Adam Scott.
Hello, you new around here?
We just moved here from Seattle.
Jason Schwartzman.
Thank you.
And the chick from
Massively
Orange
taking
is the
a
New
shine to your
Black.
boy.
Oh,
Tonight is
okay.
our regular pizza night. We could turn
Popular
it into
Netflix
a
show.
welcome the neighborhood get together. It could be fun. Going to Whole Foods now. Any dietary restrictions?
I don't think so.
Screw it. You guys, I'm so excited. Yay!
All right.
Official selection at Sundance.
I love California.
So they're at a dinner party.
In your beautiful home.
Adam Scott and his wife, Jason Schwartzman and his
Put the
wife.
kids to bed upstairs and continue down here. Oh. Give me 20 minutes and I will give you parental bliss.
Jason Schwartzman, of course, is the drummer for Phantom Planet. And what's his other band?
Zone.
I can't
You've got a
remember.
really great look. Anybody ever tell you that?
No.
Unpredictable, honest, and
Fabulous
clever.
actress.
Now
Really?
that is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you're not gonna be disappointed.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Ooh, I like how they kept that out.
Things
Yeah.
that I do in my bedroom that no one needs to know about. I think we've reached that point in the evening where we should leave before anything crazy happens.
I'm so goddamn proud of you right now.
What is going on here?
So it's just they're partying. The couples are partying.
Stay here forever.
And they're hammered, of course. The overnight.
This is California. Maybe this is what dinner parties are like.
The overnight, Adam, I'm going to push right to you, man. This thing was 6.1 IMDb. It's a comedy mystery, which is strange. What did you think about this one, Adam?
I'm very conflicted about this one.
Okay.
This one, it was very funny. There's a lot of funny parts in it.
Okay.
That make you laugh, and it's very awkward humor, kind
Sure.
of office-y humor.
Awkward doesn't...
Yes.
Right.
And but it was so weird. It was like,
It was so tense.
It was so tense.
And I'm going to talk about that later on.
But it was tense, but like it guided you through it. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it was, I thought, honestly, when I picked this movie, I thought it was going to be like The Invitation. I thought they were going to murder those people.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't.
So that was, so it definitely took a different direction than I originally thought when I selected this movie.
Okay.
But
Good for good or for bad?
I don't know.
Did it?
Like,
I mean, are you happy with the choice? Or are you let down?
I'm happy that we're exploring. You know, that you can't be unhappy for not exploring, right? So I'm glad we checked it out. But it was like, it just, if there's a cliff and on the cliff it just falls off into weirdness and awfulness,
Right.
And on the other side's really good. It just stayed on that
Right
line.
on
it just
the edge.
stayed on the edge.
Right
and,
on
and
the
it,
edge.
Like it would like lean like
And it'd come back and it'd lean, yeah.
But it didn't. It just stayed the course. So it was kind of a very weird, funny movie.
Cool. Papa Steve, you watched this one, man.
Yeah.
You texted me. It was a couple nights ago, and you went, the overnight, he's like, I forget your exact words, but you're like, wow, it's different or something like that.
You know what? I ditto everything that you just said, Adam. It was like, the subject matter was like, oh my God, this is so freaking weird.
Right.
But movie-wise,
yeah,
that was a great description. It was right on the edge. This thing could just turn wicked in a minute.
Right.
But no, I'm staying. It's okay.
Right.
Just hang in there. I thought it was good acting. I could feel the emotions as, you know, this couple is being invited over and they're going through all these weird things in the evening. Mm-hmm. And I could feel the things that they were feeling. So movie-wise, I thought it was cool to watch.
Adam Scott and his wife in the movie Orange is the New Black, I don't know her name, but Adam Scott's character, that what you're just talking about, you can feel the emotion. They're a new couple in L.A. They're getting into this, like, whatever. They don't have any friends yet. They get in with Jason Schwartzman and his wife, but their emotion is very relatable. How about
exactly.
that? So I know what you're talking about there.
No, it was weird. It was funny. It was tense.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Patrick, what about you, man? You watched this one, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think about this?
Before I watched it, I was doing the notes for it, and I was like, oh, wow, this movie was filmed in 12 days, and that it was also shot entirely at Adam Carolla's house, with the exception of, like, a few scenes. So I was like, oh, this is going to be a pretty good movie.
That's Adam Carolla's house.
That's Adam Carolla's,
No kidding.
So
Cool house.
And he's a podcast extraordinaire.
Yeah.
One of the Podfathers, so.
Yeah, so I saw all that. I was like, oh, I was getting really amped up for it. And then I started watching it, and I'm like, this movie's awful.
Okay.
I didn't like it from the start. I saw exactly where it was going.
Right.
And it took one little twist at the end, and I was like, frick. I mean, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Right.
I wouldn't go back and watch this.
Sorry to use harsh language. But
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
Mother trucker. It was bad.
What was bad? What specifically? Can you touch on what was bad? Just like the story was so you knew where it was going, so you just.
Not only did I know, like, you watch some movies, you know where they're going, and you still enjoy the journey to the end of the movie, because it's not about where you're going, it's about the journey, right? And
that's what I hear.
For the whole, 79 minutes this movie was, I was just trying, I'm like, end already.
You know what, maybe because you knew where it was going, you read the end page, I didn't know where it was going, so I was along for the ride.
So you were hanging out tight, right?
Well,
How'd you know where it was going?
Because it's your typical, like...
It is not typical.
Well, like I said...
Where do you live, dude?
With the exception of, like, the twist at the end, which kind of, like, oh, interesting.
I wouldn't call it a twist. I'd almost call it a realignment. I'd almost put the movie back on track, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
And you know what?
Which could be a twist.
That was the thing that I had written down was it was a little bit abrupt. It was cool. I'm glad they did it. It was interesting, and I felt the emotions of that as well. But then it just sort of ended, and I was kind of wishing for one more chapter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but Patrick, why else? Why else is this one just take the dumper for you?
It just wasn't good. There was nothing about this movie that I liked. I mean,
visually, you didn't like it. You didn't like the characters. You didn't like the look
visually, it was just dark. It was dark, and
it was all one evening. Yes,
it was nighttime. Yep.
Yeah. So like,
so far, okay.
Dark emotionally or
Patrick
dark?
One. Okay.
Dark generally. Period. Like there wasn't.
Turn the lights on.
Okay.
I'm going to keep that in mind for future docket movies.
Yeah. Patrick does not like movies in the evening. Okay.
Well, it's hard to watch them without my glasses on.
So that's it. You're in bad shape for this one.
I was rubbed awfully the entire time. I mean, I loved Adam Scott on Parks and Rec, but I didn't.
You didn't find any redeeming factors.
I didn't find any redeeming factors. I didn't relate to any characters. I thought that the husband of the French lady, Jason
Schwartzman,
his whole motivation was like completely shrouded until the end of the movie. Okay. And like when you finally
Act 3 reveal.
Yeah,
is what we call that.
The Prestige.
Okay.
So after he reveals it, it's not. It's like, oh, so this is how he was trying to get to where he wanted to go. This is the roundabout way he took. So I don't want to say character development, but the motivation of the characters,
the overall arc of the characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of words being thrown out.
Dale, I'm going to go ahead and describe what you think for you.
Thank you.
Dale, what did you think?
All right, here we go. I'm going to blast through my notes here because I have a lot of notes for this one, and I kind of wanted to throw them out there, and I want you guys to like fight me or agree.
Well, wouldn't it be better to go point by point?
I'm ready for the note blast.
Do it.
All right, here we go.
Wrong.
Firstly, let's do an overview thing for me. This was directed.
Is this a long story?
Yeah, it was very long.
Okay.
This is directed by Patrick Bryce. He made the movie Creep. Did you guys watch Creep? It is a Netflix film, and I suggested it for the docket the other night. I believe it was last night, actually.
I'll take it under advisement.
Okay. Bring it
I'm
to
making a note of it right now.
Okay. Bring it to the committee. This movie, now we're talking about awkward. We're talking about, like being on the edge. Tense is the word that I think. It's not. Some parts are awkward. I'll give it that. But tension is throughout this entire film.
Because I thought you would not like this movie. Sorry to interrupt you.
No. Please
because
do.
it's very like this awkward humor, like office humor. You usually just like leave the room,
shut it off,
turn the TV off.
Yes,
I gotta watch
You're
it.
exactly right, Adam. That is it. But as Dad's, maybe you said no. It's right on the edge, and it kept you in. Now the movie Creep is I think it's we'll call it a horror movie, but it is directed by the same director, and the tension is the same exact type. It's not like weird, the situational weird that's in this movie, but the same type of tension exists. And I halfway through this movie, I was like, I feel the same way as this movie Creep. Let me look it up. Boom, same director. Okay, moving quickly along. I'm just going to blast these out. I want you guys to fight me or agree. Adam Scott. I hate his character. I hate the character he plays.
Yes, I do too.
Acting-wise, fantastic job. I've not seen him in a lot of stuff. I know he's up and coming. He's new in the comedy genre, but his character bothered me. He overly awkward, and he lied all the time, which
I
bothers me.
think it's justified in the end.
Right. Jason Schwartzman, the husband of the French wife, they meet in the park. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He plays the same character he's been playing since Rushmore when he was 14 or whatever.
Yeah,
Jason Schwartzman's been that same character.
But do you
his
like
whole
that
life.
character?
I do, and he does it a great job.
Exactly.
So no, I said Jason Schwartzman is always this character, comma, he's good. That's exactly what I have written down. But what I did, although Adam, I don't like this awkward, that tension is feeling. I want to just shut it off and shut down.
Yes.
Being on edge drove this whole movie with one hand over my eye and my finger split with one eye, just watching to see what would
That's
happen.
how I watch it too. And I was like, if I feel this way, I bet Dale feels the same way.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not going to.
I was behind the couch hiding.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, it was the story itself, I could care less about. I'll let everybody read into that and watch the film. The story I could care less about, but the way this movie was put together, this is a very different film that I thought.
That's a very good way to put it. The subject made me uncomfortable, but
how it delivered itself,
the way it was built, was
bingo.
Was good.
I thought they were all going to get murdered, so it was way different than what I thought.
Yeah, spoiler alert: they do not get murdered. So there's.
What?
No.
Retract. Is there a Bob Barker retract button?
Reclaiming my time. No, but anyway, that's how I thought. I mean, so was it good? Do I like this film? Before we dip into rewatchability, meh. Again, storyline. I don't care about the story, but how this movie was made and delivered is something I've never seen before.
And this brings me back a little bit to Byzantium, and that is when I watch movies, make me feel something.
Right.
Make me feel afraid, make me feel happy, make me want to take some action, make me want to do something. Byzantium didn't make me just want to turn it off.
Way to tie the movies together. That's
nice
podcast expertise.
That's why I'm the Podfather.
That's amazing. Well done.
Nice but it made me feel awkward. It made me feel happy.
Yeah, exactly.
It made me
right. Yeah.
I had emotions with it, so
It had you.
Subject matter aside, it made me feel something.
Yes,
and
did.
to me, that gives it a big exclamation point behind it.
You guys keep talking that there was tension building throughout the movie. Like, what was causing your guys'?
Dude, you read ahead.
I'm asking you guys what built the tension for you.
You read ahead?
No. I felt like I knew what was going to happen, and then it happened. So
because first they did this, and then it sort of went into this, and then that was weird, but then it was okay, and then it went into this, and that was like freaking weird, but then it turned okay.
It was okay, yeah.
And then it turned and go.
It was
holy crap!
Everything.
This is
how about this? Every weird twist was justified immediately afterwards.
Exactly.
So if something happened, immediately something else weird made it okay.
You first looked at it and went, "Oh my god." Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Whoa.
You're going back and forth. Adam said you're on the edge. It could go either way, and that's you're right.
They would do something super weird, and then you'd be like, "Oh my god!" And they'd be like, "Who wants to smoke pot?" And then they just smoke
hey,
pot.
Hey, it's okay now.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Who wants to jump in the pool?"
There was always I don't know evening. It's just like it always ended up okay.
I could totally see this happening.
Okay. Yeah. That's how every situation ended up. Like you could see it was perfectly okay.
It was
That was
realistic.
weird, but okay.
Right.
That's not my thing, but okay.
Yeah.
So Patrick, you saw how this story was going to end from the beginning.
No,
That zoned you out right away.
No, it didn't. I felt like this was going to be like another date night movie where a couple meets another couple and then shenanigans ensue. And then as I'm watching it, all these crazy things happen. So
Only an Irishman would say shenanigans.
Ah, that makes sense.
I'm sorry.
That's a little racist.
Go ahead.
but so all that happens, and I mean, I didn't feel any tension at all throughout the movie. It was more statement reasoning, the way
okay.
you guys are talking about it. And I mean, when we talk about tension building movies,
Right.
I would never put this
I see. Okay.
on the scale of Dunkirk.
I think we watched this movie close up. You took like a big 5 steps back and you looked at it from afar. I think that's what you did. Just like the tension that we thought was, throwing weird wrenches into the story. You were so far back, you just saw it ahead of time.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. I think you saw it coming. But either way. Well, how about this, Patrick? Rewatchability. Let's go into that. 0 there, worth it?
if I was a funny man, I'd say hi just to get the laugh. But I mean, watching it once is unbearable. So, I mean, when I heard you didn't watch the first one,
yeah,
I was upset because I had only assumed that you watched the other two, and that made me sad because I think that this would literally be
you make me sad
the worst movie of the week. So.
Oh wow!
I mean, we haven't created that award yet, but I would create it just for this movie.
Yeah, we're gonna do the bomb of the week. Papa Steve, man, rewatchability worth a rewatch, or did it just rock you so much?
I don't know. I put down rewatchability as no, but that's what I put down immediately. But I was still in the awkward office. OMG,
mind blown.
This was like, but if I was in that place, I'd watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Adam, revisit this one, rewatch it?
Not for me. Probably.
Okay.
I think once through is enough. I'd say definitely watch it once. But then I actually watched this movie with Jenna.
Oh, okay.
And,
what was it like in the couple situation?
It was actually
this movie is about couples.
It was good to have someone there to watch it with you.
Okay.
I think. And she was weirded out. We were both weirded out
Sure.
together.
Sure.
When you experience an emotional roller coaster-ish movie like this, you have to have someone there to hold your hand to kind of guide you through it.
Yeah,
so,
bring it back down to
right.
level. Yeah.
So I would recommend if you watch it with somebody,
Sure.
so it's not as uncomfortable.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to go on zero rewatchability. I'm going to say maybe you should watch it once. Again, Patrick Bryce directed this one. I love what he did in Creep. It has the same feel. It definitely takes you for a roller coaster ride. So if you're in for something like that, watch it once. I don't need to watch it again. The story didn't rock me. What I felt did, but I don't need to watch the movie again. Watch Creep if you want to feel, rocked with the story.
Do you think after finding out the big end, the reveal at the ending, it would change how you watch it a second time?
If I didn't watch that ending, would I rewatch it?
So you've watched it once. Do you think
Correct.
watching it again after seeing the big reveal at the end,
no,
it wouldn't change anything?
That's a good point, Patrick, because that's we talk about the Prestige, and that's the pinnacle of rewatchability. It gets better the second time you watch the Prestige. This one, due to the ending, blows itself wide open. And it closes itself with a nail in the coffin. I mean,
that's a good point, and it takes that stress factor away too.
And if you do the rewatch, you know how it ends, and does the tension?
Good point.
Does the tension remain for the second viewing? That's a really good point. And
I think the main point of disagreement we have is I think the ending just happened. It wasn't a methodical plan, and that it's just kind of like. The ending just kind of happened.
Right.
That's another thing, because I'm watching this movie, and I felt like a good 30% of it was just ad-libbed. Because I know...
sure.
Adam Scott's a big, improv guy.
Improv guy, yeah.
And so, when you see, this movie, and they're just, two people are sitting in a room, they're like, okay, well... they're just gonna have dialogue, and then we're gonna cut to this other scene, and then they'll cut back toward the dialogue.
Right.
Like, and they just had to like improv, and that was another thing that really took away from the movie for me.
Wait, the fact that they did improv took away, or that?
Yeah, because there's. It's that tension scene where, you know, like, the killer's coming down the hallway and then the girl's in the room, like, just, it was kind of like that setup where people are coming down the hallway and then things are happening in a room, and you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen? And you know what's going to happen before it even happens.
Right.
I didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh.
Maybe that's why I liked it.
Maybe. No, okay. All right, I got what you're saying. All right, cool. Well, then, tell you what, Patrick, bring us down the liquor store aisle. What is this thing to you?
It was just like some California Riesling. Like,
Okay.
I mean, they all come out of California, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, we smashed a bunch of grapes into a barrel, we fermented it, just put it in a bottle, send it off, write the word artisanal on it, and we'll sell it for $60.
This stupid
It
American.
was crap.
It was crap. There you go. Like a California Riesling. Papa Steve, what do you think? You got a drink review for this one?
I did, actually. I put down Schlivovitz.
What's that?
You ever have that? It's like a Eastern European, I think it's like an apricot brandy. Went to some parties, started getting weird. Dude, let's do some shots of Schlivovitz. And it was cool, and it was really good, and then all of a sudden it got weird. And that's the first thing I wrote down, because this is cool, everything's normal. Oh boy, things are not good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll have to, in a controlled environment, have to have some of that. Adam, bring us down the liquor store aisle, my friend.
Yeah, I wrote down breast milk.
Julie watched this one. That was her suggestion.
Are you kidding me?
And how awkward you feel right now is what the movie feels like.
That's perfect.
Some breasticles.
Oh, dude, that's right on. That's right there.
It's pretty
nice
spot
work.
on.
What I got written down is it's not a drink per se, but you have a drunk bartender. And so the drunk bartender, you're like, yeah, man, just, surprise me. And he's so drunk that he's pouring all these different kind of drinks and just like all these liquors in there. Like, man, like, what are you going to give me? Like, I don't know. And you don't see what he's pouring in, and he hands you a little glass. You have a sip. You're like, I thought I was just getting a drink. This is wild. I guess just give me another one. And he starts pouring in stuff. You don't know what's going to happen, and then he gives you another drink, and you drink it. You don't know what's going on. The tension of him pouring you a drink, because he's hammered. You don't even know what you're going to get. You're like,
no.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to give me a drink. That's why I'm at the bar. But the way your eyes are cross-eyed, I don't know what you're pouring in that glass. That's what this was. It was, you don't know what you're going to get. You know you're getting a drink, but you don't know what you're going to get.
Hey, speaking of drinks, is Dottie still around?
No.
No, we had to let her go.
Yeah.
Because I could go for something. I was just thinking
You
about Dottie.
you didn't see Gertrude? Oh, she left at 5.
Was it Gertrude or Gerta?
What was her name?
I thought it was Gertrude.
Gertrude?
Dude.
She's really doing well.
She's pretty good to look
Is she
at.
the one from Norway?
I think she's from Yugoslavia.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's Yugoslavia.
Well,
Serbia,
USSR.
yeah.
Okay.
She's from Serbia now, but yeah, dude, she is. She's pretty good looking.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
good. Does she know how to work email?
Yes.
Because I know
Yes.
that Patrick was having
I
problems.
watched all the movies this
Okay,
week.
because I know
It
Dottie
was
had a
very
problem with
good.
the email.
Yeah.
We kind of went away from like past 2 secretaries are kind of older. This one's a little younger.
Yeah.
Not that we're ageist.
Not with the
No.
Not that we're ageist. It's
No,
just,
but she is. She is.
Was she the one with the big blonde braids?
Yeah, with the buns.
Okay, I saw her
On
in
her hair,
I
you
saw
know,
her in the
the hair.
lobby. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I saw her.
Yeah, that was a good hire, Patrick.
Good
Yeah,
job.
nice
That must have been a fun interview.
I'm glad I wasn't here for Dottie because
Yeah,
that
it's
was
pretty good.
awkward. That would be awkward.
Yeah, Dottie really didn't cut it, but
she had an attitude.
I still gave her a good reference for her. The next place she went, Chick-fil-A, actually.
I want to talk about the
Wait,
overnight. Going to Dottie's vegan party was basically
Oh,
the same
yeah.
thing.
Oh, how was that?
Yo,
Let's move on.
Let's
on.
talk about Cartel Land.
Yo,
Okay.
ma. Yeah, last one up is, let's talk about something a little nicer than Dottie. It's called Cartel Land.
Let's talk about drug lords.
2015 film. Filmmaker.
I think her husband was a drug lord, by the way.
That could be.
Yep.
Curtis?
Dottie's?
Yeah, Dottie's.
Talk
Well,
about
that explains a lot.
talk about south of the border.
But he was Irish, which was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Never trust him.
Filmmaker Matthew Heineman examines the state of the ongoing drug problem along the U.S.-Mexican border. 7.4, Adam. Let's roll the trailer.
All right.
Imaginary line out there between right and wrong, good and evil.
Doug.
I believe what I am doing is good.
Assault rifles,
and what I'm standing up against
meth.
is evil.
Meth.
Sundance icon.
Yeah, best Sundance icon. A bunch of icons.
More meth.
Claro que hacemos daño, lo sabemos.
That was a Citizen Watch, if you guys are watching.
That was
The
Mucho
cartels
Metho.
terrorizing their own country, and now they're starting to do it over here.
¿Qué harías tú?
What would you do? Wait for them to come for you or defend yourself? The unbelievable true story about two vigilante leaders fighting the Mexican cartel on both sides of the border.
El gobierno no proporciona las
The government
garantías
can't
de
provide
seguridad
basic
que el
security
pueblo
for its people.
necesita.
Helicopters.
She's very upset.
She was very upset.
They're taking back what is theirs from the cartel. This way it should be done up here, too.
Anybody touches me, drop them. You sabi?
Confirmed.
If you thought Breaking Bad was terrifying, wait for
Una ley
this.
que se llama ojo por ojo y diente por diente.
Fíjense para atrás.
A heart-pounding hell ride.
Very cool action
Vamos a
scenes
convertir
for a
a los
documentary.
criminales
Not
en
written.
los combatientes.
Yeah.
¿Con quién trabajas? Por nada.
Cartel Land. Cartel Land, guys. 2015 film. This got 7.4 on IMDb. It's a straight-up documentary. 100 minutes long, Patrick. A little longer than you'd like to watch for.
Yeah, but there's not a wasted minute in it.
No,
So
that's true.
It is 100 minutes, but it doesn't feel like it. You're enthralled in the movie the entire time. You're watching. I don't call it a movie. It's a documentary.
Straight-up doc.
But you know what?
Documentary.
What you said was exactly what I wrote down. It's a documentary, but it plays like a movie.
Well, yeah, to that point, I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, 20 minutes into the movie, I'm like, okay, well, is this kind of like a mockumentary? But, you pause the movie, you look it up real quick, and it's like, this is a documentary. This is all actual footage of the southern border of America and in the one of the states of Mexico towards the south by the mountains.
Right.
So it's all real. This is all real.
It has three sides of the story. We have an American side on the American Mexican border. We have another side is like the Mexicans, like you said, from the mountainous area right in the middle, that is trying to fight against the cartel. And then you have the side from the cartel. So it is, they show a little bit of it. So they did have some footage from that. So you have three. It wasn't a full story from the cartel.
And the government, the Mexican government, was sort of a...
Yeah.
Right. So you're getting...
Pena.
It was very interesting to watch. Usually you see like, okay, well, let's watch a Sicario or whatever you're going to watch. It's like from a one-sided type of thing. This was a handful of stories in one. I thought it was pretty interesting.
It was definitely very interesting. Definitely.
Do you want to read through this first paragraph of notes you have? It's a big paragraph, but I think it's worth talking. Do you want to go ahead and go?
Well, I'll just summarize it real quick because the civilians that are banding together call themselves the Autodefensias, and they had their 1 year anniversary of being this wonderful group of people kicking the cartels out. But
it's a vigilante, paramilitary, armed citizens.
Yeah,
right.
What do you call it? Band of brothers almost that are coming together to take back what is theirs, in the sense that they don't want the cartels murdering all of their family because some guy can't pay enough limes to do something. Blah,
Sure.
blah, blah. So just totally
I mean, it's
inhuman reasons to kill a
classy,
person.
It's classic mafia racketeering in Mexico. And when people can't pay off that debt to the cartel, well, there's consequences. You know?
Yeah, well, it talks to the point where the Mexican government is so, like, corrupt to the point where the Autodefensias were having their 1-year anniversary. So Enrique Pena Netan, almost Yahoo, was paying the Times paper $44,000 to run an article about how he's saving Mexico and doing all this wonderful humanitarian work to take back his country from the cartels when he's totally in the pocket of the Templars and the whole Mexican cartels.
But I did like the cartel's name, though.
The Templars?
The Knights Templars, yeah.
That was
The
pretty
Knights Templar.
BA.
Yeah, it was pretty BA.
And they all dress like that, too.
I mean, as awful as cartels go, but
Right.
still.
They got a good uniform.
They got good branding.
Right.
I'll say that.
Yeah, we'll give them that.
I also saw an article that Mexico is the second most dangerous country in the world, second to Syria. And there's like an ongoing civil war in Syria.
And that's another thing to talk about because the same guy that directed this also directed City of Ghosts, where it's a documentary talking about Aleppo Aleppo.
This guy, man, he gets into it. There's some
talking
great
about putting your
action scenes.
crap on the line for this guy is really going.
He's
out
filming
there
firefights.
Oh,
Like-
dude, the camera guys were once the gunshots were going, they were behind the guys with the guns. The camera drops down. In the trailer, you see a guy with a gun going, "Keep your head down," because they're in a firefight.
Yeah.
It's incredible footage. It's a credible story. They follow a character. Do we got it written down here?
The doctor?
Yeah, the doctor. That's his
Yeah.
name, El Doctoro or whatever. He's the leader of the Autodefensias, and they follow his tale a little bit and how he runs like this, the uprising, if you want to call that. Not uprising against the government, the uprising against the cartel.
Yeah.
They follow that story. They follow this gentleman who's got quite a backstory, who is an American who's on the American border.
Yeah.
And like there was so much information.
To me, it seemed like I really liked how they told like it was the Mexican side and the U.S. side because
Right.
the border issue we only think of it as kind of the U.S. side. What do we do?
Can I cut you off real quick?
I will allow it.
That is something that I was rocked by the most. I see the border as there's Americans and then you have illegals with drugs coming over. Done. End of story.
Yeah.
When you're talking about how there's two sides of the story and how even some of the Mexicans that are fighting the cartel, that's got its own tale. I've never known about that. I know there's a cartel, et cetera, but I don't know how much it affects them. So when you, Adam, talk about that there's two sides to this, that rocked me, I think, the most. But, I mean, go on. I'm just saying, you see there's a border thing. Okay, protect the border.
Yeah.
But there's two sides.
It's just amazing to see both sides, citizens taking it upon themselves to fix the situation.
Right. Which I never knew that existed.
Right. Like, even, like, both governments are not, like, doing enough and their own citizenry feel the necessary to take matters in their own hands to combat these cartels.
That's a big deal in the movie too, because the American border protection guy, he's not government issue.
No, he's just a dude.
He's a vigilante guy. I mean, that started his group, and that's the same thing on the Mexican side of the border. It's just a group of people, the Autodefensias, that they're not a government group. They're not being, they're not military. They're just folks,
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah, as a documentary, I thought it was very cool, very eye-opening. You get to see some of the stuff behind the scenes. Man, there's more to this than just border wars.
Right.
You know, there's the faces and the stories. And then as that's a movie, the stuff behind the news, the emotions, the people, and character development, if I may.
Sure.
Even that doctor towards the end, you see some weird stuff happening with him, and you go, "This is
And
human drama at its."
Sure. And then there's people,
peak.
people like I remember when the Mexican the Autodefensias were trying to speak to a town like, "Hey, we're here to protect you," and the townspeople were like, hey, no, we don't want
yeah.
you here.
Some people thought they were great. Some people said, "Get the heck out!"
Well,
of here.
no, it was almost like a Robin Hood kind of thing. It's like you're not the law.
Yeah.
You're not doing what the law says. Why should we follow you? We're like, no, we're going to protect you from the cartel. Well, yeah, but you're not the Mexican government. That's the law. You're breaking the law, but for good. So it's such a struggle. Well,
very classic Batman.
Oh,
can we say?
Okay. Oh, I went Robin Hood, but same tale. All right. Patrick, what do you think?
Both wearing masks.
So, talking about how like that scene towards the end of the movie that you're talking about, it's a classic kind of like Jack and the Beanstalk, where the stock is growing so big and it can't support itself anymore.
Right.
It just tumbles down.
Sure.
So the auto defensias, and give me the mantle if you will, but
that's a documentary, so
yeah,
I don't think there's mantle available for this.
I'll look it up.
I think we're in a mantle-free zone.
Mantle-free zone. Go ahead.
So the auto defensias, they got kind of big, and they all didn't have the same goal towards the end.
Sure.
And that's what caused that city to say, hey, well, we've heard some things that you guys are doing, and we kind of don't want those things in our city, so maybe jog off.
Right.
But they didn't leave. They kind of but so some like you said, human drama happens towards the end of the movie, and it's really sad to see what happened towards the end of it. So
and the way that, I mean, as far as, again, looking at it like purely as a movie, the way that the plots interwove, and who do you trust, and turns out this guy's in bed with this guy. You gotta be kidding me. You mean he was always...
He's taking money from this guy.
Oh, my God. It was, holy smokes.
It's a screwed up situation.
It was messed up.
Right. And so what I was saying earlier, I just think of people protecting the border so people don't come across with drugs. End of thought. The fact that there's a story on our side with people that aren't even involved with the government, they're doing it out of their own accord. And then you got the Mexican side, and then there's, that's 3 layers deep. Who's in bed with the government? Who's with the cartel? Who just wants to keep their own little area safe? I mean, it's a very eye-opening documentary.
It almost didn't like it because it's like, oh man, this is happening. Like, this is real life.
Exactly.
I had it black and white in my head until I saw this, and I went, holy crap, this is a mess.
It's a mess.
Well, yeah, I totally agree, because a lot of infrastructure isn't built in outside of Mexico City and Cancun. There's not a lot of infrastructure in Mexico, and when you look towards the southern border, I mean, we have the Rio Grande, and then roughly on some parts 50 miles of just sand and brush,
nothingness.
So when you see the cartel coming over in these unpatrolled areas where there's no wall, where there's no fencing, it's just just come on in.
They walk.
I don't know if I'm ever going back to Cancun. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
yeah,
it's risky.
It was super interesting as a documentary. It was very eye-opening and educational.
Right.
And as a movie, as a film, it was very interesting to watch. A lot of drama, a lot of twists and turns that I did not expect.
Right.
It was very enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about action with these action scenes. I mean, this is just great documentary filmmaking.
Oh,
these guys were in. Let's just say it. They're in the shit.
They were just in it. He just let people go. He just when he interviewed people, it was just talk, man.
Right.
Just
and on both sides, they had cartel interviews that were like, wow.
It really struck me of the trust that this guy engendered, that he was able to talk to all these groups.
That's what I was thinking about.
How are they
time.
not killing you?
I think about the cameramen. They're like, all right, Phil, take this little camera, probably just a little DSLR, and then bring this mic in. You're going to be involved with the cartel. Sit down with one of their main guys who just killed somebody a little bit ago. Sit down and talk to him. Just ask him kind of about the cartel a little bit. Go ahead, Phil, and then call me next week when you get the footage.
There are no rules.
There's no rules. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's crazy that they brought back this type of footage. It's extremely eye-opening to watch.
It's just I'd rather watch stuff like this than news.
Well, this is the real deal.
It's the real deal.
When you have a mic pinned on to a cartel member, this is not what you're seeing on CNN.
No, that's for sure.
So, I don't know. It's very It's striking all the way around. It was well done. It was well put together because there is a storyline and there's a timeline. But visually, it looked great. It was great interviews. It never had me bored. It was very interesting.
Good for education. Good for entertainment, if I can say that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, as far as bringing the drama,
it kept you watching.
Not so much as entertainment, but like just absorbing the knowledge that
information.
Yeah, the information that's being pushed. Like,
but
like,
it wasn't.
This is happening.
But
this
it
is
wasn't
happening
a dry.
right now.
It wasn't a dry lecture. It was holy crap.
It wasn't just information.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, no, I thought it was
I
really
shouldn't
good.
say entertainment. It wasn't like get some popcorn and watch the cartel.
Sure.
Yeah, it kind of throws me back to when we watched Zodiac the other week because like these murders actually happen and then they're like making light of like, oh well, here's Jake Gyllenhaal as Nightcrawler and trying to figure out. But this was portraying everybody as they are,
as it
in
is
their element.
Yes,
and you're just watching, you're like, wow.
Well,
like this is crazy.
I mean, you say, wow, Patrick, rewatchability, although the wow factor's there and all this information is, really rocks you, what about rewatchability?
I'll probably watch this again probably around November 7th of 2020. I'll watch this again. So, yeah.
All right.
It's definitely there to rewatch it.
Little rewatchability a little bit down the road. Papa Steve, rewatch this one, or did you get all the information you needed?
I don't think I would watch it again.
Okay.
I've already recommended it to people.
Oh, wow,
that they should watch it. So I mean, I'm not steering people away from it, but I'm good.
As far as a second watch, it's
right. I got the information I needed to get.
AP, what about you, man?
No, I'm probably not going to rewatch it, but that's not because it's not a good movie. It's just like I want to be happy and I want to think about this stuff.
No, it's definitely a dark doc.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of information from across the border that I didn't know was there. As far as I'm concerned, rewatchability for me, I'm not excited to watch this one tomorrow. But as Papa Steve said, if anyone's interested in this type of information, this is a great way to pick out what's really happening right now. I think the earliest bit of footage was shot in 2015, so this is pretty recent footage.
I thought it was released in 2015.
I just saw a bunch of stuff, and people were talking about 2015. So even if it was,
because I think it was at the 2015 or the 2016 Sundance Film Festival. So I mean, it had filmed.
Well, it's pretty recent. It's not like, well, let's talk about the beginning of the cartel.
No, it's still going.
It's new. It's relevant information that's happening right now. So, so that's pretty interesting. So anyway, rewatchability there is. For me, it's low for rewatch, but it's there for initial watch, for sure. But let's bring it down to Liquor Store Aisle if we can do a doc. Patrick, I'm looking at you. Do you got a drink you can put this one with? I mean,
no, I just want just water, just something like in case I get
cold
like thirsty during the movie. Like I don't want to have any alcohol in my system. I want to absorb everything that's saying.
Sure, yeah.
I want to make sure I can commit this to memory and. Like you said, like this is a very watch this movie,
right?
I mean, if
information packed,
yeah, just full of it.
Right.
It's very. I know you guys like to say polarizing, but I mean, this. If you look at it one way, you might by the end of the movie look at it a whole nother way.
Right.
So definitely watch this movie with a glass of water.
Okay, Papa Steve, you got a drink for this one, or where you at?
I do. I agree with you, Patrick, as far as wanting a glass of water. But if I were to compare it to a drink. It would be Red Bull and tequila because it was amped up, the volume was up, and it's messed up. You have a couple of Red Bulls and tequila, some weird's going down.
It's going to be a wild one.
That's how I would compare this movie.
Okay. Adam, what about you, man? Bring us on the Liquor Store Aisle.
Yeah, I probably if I was watching this movie, I'm like with Papa Steve. Red Bull and tequila sounds pretty good. And then probably after I'm done watching it, I'll relive my 21st birthday and take 15 shots of tequila and not remember anything about it so I can go back to my life how it was before.
Right.
And exactly. I think everything's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, everything's good.
Right.
I got traffic and, work.
Trying to make it to the cast without
I don't got cartels breathing down my neck, so I'm feeling pretty good.
You don't got charging you taxes for whatever reason, killing your family for not paying X amount of money.
Life's pretty good.
You know what?
Life's
It's
pretty good,
not
guys.
too bad. And you know what? Life's not bad. I'm gonna take that to my drink review too. This movie is a 1 Corona. It's not a heavy beer. It's not a crazy beer. You get it at any liquor store ever across the globe. It is you just drink it. It's just one drink. Don't go too deep because the movie itself is too much. So just sip on one beer and you'll be good to go. So, I think that's it, guys. I mean, that's Cartel Land. That's 2015. What's going on, Patrick?
Just tap that. Tap? No, not that. Hit
What do you want?
home,
What do you want?
top right.
Yeah?
Okay, and then pick one of those red ones.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best.
Well, there you go. That's Cartel Land. 2015.
That's the worst way.
Well, tell you what, guys. That was horrible.
Hit the other one. Hit the other one.
When do we beat Mexico
Oh,
at
shit.
the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
Wow. All right. Well, that's off Patrick's iPad. I'll just throw that out there right now.
We got to talk about Patrick's search history when we're done with this on YouTube.
guys.
Hey, Patrick, it's great to have you on the podcast, dude. Thanks for coming to the NetX, man. I mean, we've had a handful of films. Tell you what, what's your pick of the week?
Cartel Land, definitely take a watch if you want to be informed and if you want to have a good movie-going experience. Just pick one of the other two that's not overnight.
Okay. Papa Steve, movie of the week. What's yours, man?
I'm going to have to say Cartel Land as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay. Adam, looking at you?
Yeah, same. I mean, in terms of movie quality, it beats everything
Right.
else. Yeah.
I'm on board, man. It rocked me emotionally. It was deeper than even how crazy the overnight was. And so it really did well. But Adam, I gotta say thanks a lot, man. Sitting across from me again. It's a Friday evening podcast. Love seeing you for the NetX, brother.
Yeah, dude. Love doing the Friday podcast. We got the podcast out of the way, and the night is young, man. Let's roll.
Right on. Patrick, good to see you, brother. Thanks a lot for bringing some Stella Artois.
So Stella Artois.
Yeah.
Yes, I still hope you guys are in for some Cam Jam after this.
Oh, we're playing Can Jam. Papa Steve, and thank you so much for being on the podcast once again. It is great to have you here, my man.
Guys, I am so happy to be invited back and be part of you doing this. Good to see everybody in the studio audience. Little shout out and a wave to everybody on the live feed. I'm just thrilled to be here.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, listen, we got to say, guys, we're on Facebook. Check out the Netflix Explorers. We're up there. Well, of course, we're on iTunes. Subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review. That helps us kind of get seen. We'd appreciate if you guys did that. We're on Twitter at TheNetX, NETEX. We're up there. If you guys need anything, I'm Dale at the 1890 Studios, 1890studios.com. Patrick, do we got a poll this week or no?
Yeah, I'll make one up. Just check the site. It'll be there.
Okay, cool. So stop by 1890studios.com. That's the 1890studios.com. We got a poll up there. We'd like to hear from you guys. So that's it for us. Again, guys, we're the Netflix Explorers, and we're saying so long. We'll see you next week.
See you, everybody.
Adios.
We gonna get that X song at all? Boom, boom, boom.